Step number 2 is now the probate's open, you have to notify people who are entitled to notice. So who is entitled to notice? And this notifying has to be done by the personal representative within 20 days of the judge signing the order on the probate. Who do you need to notify? You need to notify everyone who is named as a beneficiary in the will, that they are a beneficiary of the will. You need to notify anyone who is a beneficiary of a non-probate asset if you know that, for example, they are going to receive the IRA, which you might not know. You need to notify everyone who is an heir at law. Who is an heir at law? An heir at law is anyone who would receive from the decedent if there isn't a will. But in my example here, I'm saying there is a will and it says who are the beneficiaries. So perhaps the will says that they're a single person and they're survived by 3 children, and 2 of the kids are going to get the estate and the third gets nothing. They're disinherited. So even though they're getting nothing, this third child, the personal representative still must notify this third child that they are, and the reason that there is a probate, and the reason for that is that they are considered an heir at law. So all heirs at law, and there's a statutory definition for who that is, but all heirs at law must be notified that the probate has started, even if that person gets nothing. So that's a really important step that has to be taken, because if you don't notify the people, and I'll get to the entities who need to be named, then that can draw out the probate process. See, probate should not take terribly long. There's a 4-month creditors period. And once that period is done, and once all the assets have been gathered up and any tax returns have been handled, then you should be able to distribute out the assets. But if you haven't given correct notice, that can prolong a probate process far beyond that. Who else needs notice? The state needs notice. So you have to give notice to the Department of Revenue and the Office of Financial Recovery. The reason that they need notice is they might have a claim to the estate. So OFR, Office of Financial Recovery, with DSHS, they might say, oh, well, we paid benefits on behalf of the decedent, and therefore we're entitled to recoup whatever benefits we paid from the estate. So you need to give notice to the 2 state agencies, in addition to the beneficiaries and in addition to the heirs at law. I think step number 2 is the step that most people miss when they do a do-it-yourself probate, because how are you supposed to know that? That's a really important step not to miss.